Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 19th of May 2026. So, renewed Iran headline roulette triggers market mayhem, AI angst, momentum meltdown, and Bitcoin was battered. Peace on, peace off, peace on, risk off, and piss off is the headline for there. And yeah, it's very frustrating, isn't it? But I have spoken about this before. And the man's just an unknown quantity is probably the politest way of putting it. US stocks were mixed and the major indices finished mostly in the red on what was a choppy session at the whim of geopolitical headlines, again dominating the news and market activity. Markets chopped to geopolitics while Trump holds off on an immediate Iran attack. He knows if he does that, he's screwed. And that's why it's this sort of roulette thing at the moment with, are we going to war, not going to war? Absolute pain. It really is. Claimant count for the UK today, that puts that into some sort of perspective, doesn't it? Unemployment numbers, as they used to be called, and average earnings also, they're showing 3.8. We'll see what happens. And then pending home sales month on month from the US, looking like it's slowing down a bit there. Right, let's have a look at this geopolitical market from yesterday and start off with the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday, as I mentioned, likely recovery, and that's what we saw. However, overnight, with the geopolitics dominating the news, the market currently sort of sideways to lower. This is the 30-minute chart of the Dow. It's below the 200 MA. Yesterday afternoon saw the cash market moving to the upside, finding resistance at the 200 MA, and then once it closed back below, the market then sideways there. So have a look at the DAX. And in the German DAX, the market also up sharply yesterday. Good move to the upside, but overnight we've got a bit of sideways to lower there as well. Need to stay above this 200 MA in the daily chart in order to move higher. A closer look in the 30-minute, we started moving strongly. We got through the 200 MA in the 30-minute, and then we traded up to the sort of R2 level and a cluster of resistance there. Market pulling back below the 20-bar moving average and then moving up initially overnight, but as uncertainty and indecision, you can see there the market now sitting around the DP there. In the S&P 500, a bit of selling for the last couple of days, as you can see there, a bit of absorption as well for yesterday, but weakness coming into the market for the S&P overnight. Again, just like the Dow, cash market up, 200 MA DP causing an issue, market all the way back down, then back up towards the close, and then first hour or so, and then sideways to lower at the moment. Here in the UK, the sideways moves continue in the sell in May go away scenario, and there you can see some buying coming into the market yesterday, but that's soon being given up at the moment, as the 30-minute shows. Yesterday, market moving sharply higher, a lot of volume coming in to get through the 50 EMA, and also back above the 10,200 level there, and then once through the market moving higher. We've drifted lower overnight down towards the 50 EMA and the DP, where prices are currently holding. Let's have a look at the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq all-time high, we didn't get to the 30,000. The market's put in 2 days now down, and a third one by the looks of things at the moment. 30-minute chart starting to move to the downside. Only a short burst to the upside as well through the DP and then back through the DP. So as it said, momentum stocks, tech stocks, etc. starting to struggle there a bit. So we'll look at the US dollar. And in the US dollar, we didn't quite get to the 100. Well, we haven't got to it yet, but it's not too far off. Market starting to be sideways there because, again, it too doesn't know what to do. In the metals, after Thursday and Friday's monkey hammering, you can see Shanghai is back up at 86. And also we've got $8 difference there in the premiums. And also the gold-silver ratio starting to move back up again, despite moving down yesterday, starting to head back up. So gold holding its own compared to silver at the moment, and the stress index is right down at 44. It says it's elevated, but that's nothing to where we have been in the past. Let's have a look at the market for the metals yesterday. And starting off with silver, we can see there that we were down for 2 days. Well, actually, down for 3 and still showing weakness there. Don't be surprised if we don't head down towards this sort of level here, which you can just draw across there at 70. I wouldn't be surprised at all at the moment. Just pure manipulation, once again returning to this market by the Crimex. And in the 30-minute chart, you can see there yesterday managing to move to the upside, and then later on at night, but at the moment already in for a hammering, started early. Gold down also, sitting at the 200 MA. Looks like we're going to break this as well. And then in the 30-minute chart for gold, a lot steadier than silver yesterday, and then overnight being sold off in the Far East as well. Like I say, the central banks are accumulating as much gold as possible, and with that they will manipulate the price as and when they can. Let's have a quick look at yesterday's trades. So we started off in the pre-market session, prices moving lower down to the S1. That was the last low of the day, and then we see prices moving up. We then had a bit of a struggle around the close. The market tried to close below it, and then the market said, no, not doing this, we're moving back to the upside. And that's what we saw thereafter, with the market moving up nearly 200 points there to the DP. Then we got sideways all the way through the middle until we got to the futures coming on stream in the US, and then sending the market back up before we had another breather and another move to the upside of 200 points. We then kicked off in the afternoon, a very tiny bar. Seems to be a pattern as well at the moment, so a losing trade there before the market then went down to the scalp, and then it found its feet again, and then got moving in a range bound market of 100 points. And then just before the close, we had a sell signal there, which moved the market down another 100 points. So some nice volatility around at the moment for the DAX. Let's have a look, see what it's doing overnight. And at the moment, you can see that move to the downside, but the market finding support and now actually moving back to the upside there. Let's just have a look and see where we are in the bigger picture. And we're certainly at yesterday's high as a potential. And where is the low? It's a fair distance away. That really is some distance. Just as an idea, 100, 200, 300, 400, around 500 points to the downside there for the German DAX in the 2-minute chart at the moment. Right, that's it for this one. Let's see what Trump can come up with today to disrupt and keep the markets in chaos. But other than that, have a great day. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.